What's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of Scales 13. In today's video, we're going to be starting a new series called Panther's Pantry. In this video series, I'm basically going to show a bunch of different foods that Panther, my Indonesian blue-tongued skink here, will be trying, and we're going to see based off his reaction whether he likes the food or not. Now, as a disclaimer, none of the foods in this series are going to be commercially sold by me, or am I making any type of profit off of this. This is just going to be a series where I try different foods on my blue-tongued skink, and based off of whether or not he likes the food and he actually eats it, you're going to decide whether or not you want to try any of these foods for your blue-tongued skink that you keep at home. Today's food is going to be Zoomed's blue-tongued skink and Tegu food. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so to start off with, Zoomed's blue-tongued skink and Taegu food. Now this is meant to be fed as a whole meal, and as you may know, blue-tongued skinks only need to eat about once a week. I feed mine twice a week, but what I do is I give him his big heavy meal once a week that has all the nutrition that he requires, and throughout the week, usually on Wednesday or Thursday, I'll give him a little bit of fruit, one or two dubious, something like that, just to get a couple extra calories in him, but so also he can get some different type of nutrition, right? So before we feed this item to our blue-tongued skink, let's read the back label just to get an understanding of what we're actually feeding here as Panther walks back and forth, impatiently waiting to be fed. Hey buddy, I see you. Don't worry, you'll eat in a second. All right, so maybe I should have picked a different place to do this. Anyway, so if you look back here at the label, not this label, that's the feeding instructions, this label here, after water sufficient for processing, you might notice that the first ingredient is chicken. Then after that, we have soybean meal, we have corn, we have wheat germ. Soon after that, you'll see there's a lot of vitamin supplements added to the food. So this food really doesn't have a ton of the ingredients that I would be looking for a whole meal personally. And I'm talking about how I like to feed my blue-tongued skink. You guys can do what you want, but personally I like to see more vegetable matter in a whole meal. This is why I think people do more of the home brew for blue-tongued skinks, and while they'll do the dog food mixed with veggies. So what I'm basically gonna do is, I'm just gonna take this food here and I'm gonna do what I normally do with Panther's high quality dog food that I normally feed him as his big meal of the week. And I'm just gonna mix it with some shredded greens that I have right here. First thing we gotta do is actually pop the can, and let's see if he actually likes this little can of food. Wow, okay, I popped the can and this guy is already, okay, wow. This guy sure does have a keen sense of smell. He's already all up in the can and he's actually never tried this food before. Like the smell, bud? Okay, cool. Well, we're still not at the taste test yet, but let's just see. Okay, so it looks like a normal pate like you would feed a dog. All right, so we're gonna mix this up together with these veggies and then we're gonna get right along with feeding. Alrighty guys, so we have our food all mixed up. Now normally a good rule of thumb when feeding a blue-tongued skink is you don't want to feed a meal that is larger than the animal's head. As he is, it seems like he's dying to get to this food. This seems like a winner here. But the thing is, when you look at the feeding guide for this particular food right here, and don't get me wrong, I know feeding guides are just a guide, but it's saying that you should feed about 2 tablespoons, which would be about the size of his head. For a small lizard, it says about every other day. Now, every other day would be a lot of feeding for a blue-tongued skink. That's a little too much. Maybe it has to do with the nutrition level in the food. I'm not sure why they have this description like this. And yet again, this isn't like a negative comment or anything towards this company or this food or anything like that. Definitely not giving a negative review here, but once you actually scoop a little bit of this out and chop it up, you'll see that there's actually quite a bit of food there. And it says for large litters, what does it say, about 1/3 of the can. So since he's only gonna be eating this, I'm replacing this with my once a week feeding. I actually just gave him a whole 1/3 of the can, as you can see right here. So yeah, this little guy right here is going to get a nice meal. Now let's see. All right, Panther, are you ready to try Zoomed's Blue Tongue Skink and Taegu food? Of course you are. All right, let's see how much he likes it. And because right now it smells good, but you know, all that can actually change if he tastes it and decides he doesn't like it. So let's see. Now, yet again, not a negative review at all here. We're just seeing how Panther reacts to it. This is his opinion, not mine. All right, buddy, let's see if he likes it. Come here, bud. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, he's sniffing, tongue flicking. Okay, he's going for a taste. All right, there we go. Another comment about this food is when you open it up, you can definitely see the chicken in there. You can definitely see where the gar gum is making it a very jelly type product. And it definitely has that brewer's yeast in there because it definitely has a little bit of that yeasty smell. So the ingredients listed are definitely in here. But it seems like Panther's taking a good liking to this. So far, he's definitely picking the meal over the vegetables. Oh, what? Maybe he spoke too soon. Okay, spat the vegetables out. I guess that's not what he's going for. Yeah, he really likes this food. I'm actually very impressed. Usually Panther is, even though he's not a super picky eater, usually when it comes to his main meals, like his dog food and things like that, he's very picky in what he likes. And so far, he seems to be enjoying this food. Now, of course, there's different things to consider here, which is the density of the animal's waste when, of course, he uses the bathroom. You want to make sure that it's not too runny. You want to make sure his poop is nice and firm and things like that. So that's something else I'll be checking on just for me throughout the entire week. But for this particular video here and just being able to see whether or not Panther actually likes this food, I think this food is a hit. We're just going to sit here and watch him eat and let him finish the whole thing. And I have tried a couple other Blue Tongue Skink products for this guy in the past, which I'm actually going to re-showcase here in this new video series, such as the different fruit blends and things like that they have for vegetarian reptiles. Those will be nice for treat day. But for this episode, I decided to start off with something simple. And going forward, we'll try different treats and other things like that. So Panther, what do you think of... Whoa, sorry, buddy. So Panther, what do you think of Zoomed's Blue Tongue Skink and Taegu food? I guess it's a winner. Alrighty. Now, one thing I really like about Blue Tongue Skinks is the fact that they're omnivores, which is what's going to make this series a lot of fun. Because the thing is, having an animal that's an omnivore means that there is a large variety of different foods that it'll eat. This guy will eat a large amount of veggies and he'll eat a lot of different fruits, but he'll also eat some insects. And of course, when you're feeding high quality dog food, there's a lot of different flavors and different blends of foods that you can feed this animal. On top of that, they'll also eat insects. So of course, he'll take down dubia roaches. One of their favorite foods is snails. And it just makes it a lot of fun owning a Blue Tongue Skink because these guys love to eat. Now, granted, these guys can be prone to being overfed very easily because they don't have to eat that often. But if you keep your portions small and if you try different things throughout the week for your Blue Tongue Skink, it can be a really good experience for not only the keeper, but for the animal, because not only will they get more nutrition and be able to try different things, but it also adds a lot of enrichment because it's awesome to see an animal walk up to a food, sniff it, and then kind of turn their head and see them thinking of, well, do I like this food? Do I not like this food? Is this something that I really want to eat? Let's try it. And they try a little bit, they might spit it out and say they don't like it, or they might taste it and say, wow, this is good, and just try something new. And being that way you're keeping these animals in captivity, you always want to provide the best life possible for them, because since they are your responsibility and because it's your pet, you want to make sure that this animal is getting the most enrichment possible, because since it doesn't live out in the wild, it's not going to get as much enrichment as it would on a daily basis living in captivity. But at least the positive is, hey, they don't have to worry about predators, right? Right, Panther? No predators? You're the only predator in this tank, right? Chasing down those dubious? But But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and mark this new food as a winner. Now, of course, this isn't gonna replace my normal feeding schedule where I like to give this animal his high quality dog food once a week. This is just something that I wanted to try for you guys to see if you guys liked it, and of course to give Panther here something new to try, just so that way he can get his wheels turning and get a couple different flavors in his mouth, have some good enrichment like I spoke on earlier. But yeah, this is definitely something that I think he likes. So